Greetings. This is the notes for Chapter 10, Section 5. I am your host for this set of notes. We're talking about sine and cosine. Just some different ways other than tangent to figure out either an angle or the length of a side of a right triangle. Keyword here is right triangle. Okay. It also says for any acute angle of a right triangle. It's kind of hard to have an obtuse angle in a right triangle. If you don't understand it or you can't figure it out, come see me sometime. And if you don't know who I am, you'll figure it out. At any rate, here we go. Example number 1. And the biggest keys here is, like with tangent, guys, tangent was, let's zoom away here. Tangent was always the opposite side over the adjacent, right? Well, here today we're going to talk about sine, which is the opposite side, but this time it's going to be set up over the hypotenuse. So that's one way you could do things, or you could use cosine, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. All right? One way you could always remember this, it was drilled in our heads, is SOH, S-O-H, so, ca, C-A-H, ca, toa, T-O-A. We used to have to chant, so, ca, toa. We'd sound like a bunch of possessed mummies or something in the classroom. Soka toa, soka toa. So, in example 1 here, get back up there. In the notes here, we're going to find sine and cosine of A. So A is our reference angle. So the biggest thing you need to do, guys, is now label your points. So look directly opposite of A. There's 3, so that's your opposite. That means this has got to be the adjacent. H is always opposite that 90-degree angle right there. Always. Always, always. So your reference angle is A. So now here they just want you to set up like the fraction. So sine of A is going to equal opposite over hypotenuse. So 3 over 5. Okay? Or cosine of A. So cosine, ca. So we got to go adjacent. This is our reference point again, but it's still adjacent over hypotenuse. So then it's just going to be 4 over 5. All right? That's just basically, it's a way to figure out what the measurement of angle A is, how many degrees it is. Okay? And we'll get into all that here a little bit later. Now here in example 2, we're just going to take the same thing in example 1, and we're just going to take it one step further. All right? We got cosine and sine of A. We're using A here as a reference. I'm going to label my sides because opposite of A is right there. That would make this guy the adjacent. Here's the 90 degrees opposite him. There's the H. So my sine, which is opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of A equals 40 over 41. Now you take your little calculator. I gotta find mine here. By the way, happy April Fool's Day, everybody. Man, I should have done some kind of trick to you guys. So we're just going to take 40 divided by 41. And it says the sine of A equals 0.9756. That's all you got to do. Just write those numbers down. Maybe round on the 5th one. That's for sine. Now for cosine. Give myself a little bit more room. So cosine of A, which is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So cosine of A, the adjacent side, is 9/41. So now the cosine of A, you're just taking your calculator, and you're going to take 9 divided by 41. And you get 0.2195. And yes, I would write all those out. I'd go out 4 places. Okay? So just set it up. The key is opposite over hypotenuse with sine, and with cosine it's adjacent side over hypotenuse. In the first example, we just set them up. Here, we take it one step further by dividing those fractions and figuring out the actual decimal number. Okay, class. Your last example here. We're going to actually figure out how long these sides are here. Okay? We got to use sine and cosine. So here we go. Your reference angle is 32 degrees. So, what this means is, so let's start with sine. Okay, so sine of angle A, which is 32 degrees, is equal to the opposite over hypotenuse. So let's label our sides. So A is your opposite. B is going to have to be the adjacent because there's the right angle. He's got to be the H. So sine of 32 equals the opposite, which we don't know him. Let's just leave him as X. I don't like using O. Over 10. So how do we solve for this? You should kind of remember how to do this from the tangent. That's X divided by 10. So we multiply both sides by 10 to get rid of it. So now you're going to take 10 times sine of 32, and that'll equal your X. So do that in your calculator. Okay, so when you multiply that out, I got X equaled 5.29. So that's how long that side there is, okay? That was using sine. You could have used cosine as well, all right? And to show you that, let me just zoom out here just a little bit. Kind of go over here to the side. To use cosine there, so we still would have said, okay, cosine of 32, and then cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so this would have been cosine of 32 equals X over 10 again. Same step, that's X divided by 10, so we multiply by 10. All right, and just to show you, so now you got to take 10 times the cosine of 32, and I got something totally different. What did I do wrong here? Oh, never mind. No, I didn't do anything wrong. But I got 8.48. And that is the length of your adjacent side right there, the B. Okay? So that's how you can figure out the two sides. Just figure out what side am I looking for. The first one we were looking for the opposite side, the A. So we use sine. If you want to find your adjacent, the one that's right next to the angle, here was the angle, we want to find him, we use cosine. Okay? So it'll take some practice. Maybe you caught on. But again, just take your time, get help, ask somebody, and hopefully you'll catch on here soon. Okay, you had this video done in just under 10 minutes. Have a great day.